I'm David Rowland. I'm doing a project called Homeless for a Week. During this week I'm going to be living on the streets of Leicester for 7 days and 7 nights, raising awareness of the homeless community. This short video is going to be showing some of my insights, and we're also going to be listening to some of our supporters of the event. I hope you enjoy this short video. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mark Grant. I'm the Chief Executive of Action Homeless, and I'm really pleased to support David through his Sleep Out Week and hopefully raise the profile of homelessness within the city. Action Homeless is one of the largest charities in Leicester supporting homeless people. We run a range of services and accommodation, and any one night we have around 170 people in our services. Leicester has some real challenges around housing and homelessness. Has some of the highest rising house prices in the country. We have a really shortage of affordable housing. Plus we have a great level of poverty and exclusion within the city as well. All those combined to actually make it very difficult for lots of people to actually find a safe and secure, stable home. And I think what Dave is doing this week is incredible in terms of highlighting just what that means for people. It was interesting today, Theresa May announced some new measures around how they were going to tackle homelessness and housing. Most of that was focused on house building. Of course, not having enough houses is the core cause of homelessness in Leicester, but there are lots of other issues that we also need to tackle. I think one of the problems around homelessness, and I'm sure David will find this out through the week, is it's actually lots of accommodation is only temporary. So even if we can get people and support people off the street, often what they're given is a temporary accommodation, and we never really break that cycle of homelessness. And we're just managing homelessness, whether that's helping people survive on the street or whether that's helping people into hostels and temporary accommodation. And what we're championing at Action Homeless is something called Housing First, where we think the only way to really break that cycle of homelessness is to give people somebody a home, permanent home, give them that safety and security, and help them then rebuild their lives from there, rather than tackle some of the issues that they have on the street or in hostels. So that's our message, and I hope David has a good week. I'm sure it'll be a very enlightening week, a challenging week. I wish him well, and a great deal of admiration for him.
Hi, I'm Wayne Henderson. I'm a nurse and director at Inclusion Healthcare. We are Leicester City's commissioned primary healthcare service for homeless people. We've been operating in Leicester for approximately 18 years now. We are a social enterprise, a not-for-profit organisation, have been for the last 8 years. We work from 2 venues in Leicester, which is Charlesbury House, which is behind the back of the High Cross, and at the Dawn Centre, which is a multi-purpose building for housing, hostel, multiple services including wife support and health and outreach services. We operate daily Monday to Friday from 8:30 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. We're as much as like any other GP service. We register people who are homeless. We don't ask for any proof of that, just people to come along. If they feel they need to register and need a GP, we're there, and we're more than welcome to invite anyone in and register them. We offer a whole range of GP services. We have regular GPs, we have a nursing team, we have additional services like physiotherapy, optician, midwives, everything you can think of which a normal GP service will offer to its population, we offer to the homeless people, should I say. We believe that homeless people should have the same service as everyone else. That is the principle about what we're here to do. We don't believe that homeless people should be any less in need of health services than anyone else, and that's what we aim to achieve by having our own special service, our own specific service. We believe that Leicester provides a good homeless service. It's been recognised across the country. We're always working to improve that service with our service users, with our partner agencies, and with the national agendas.
We've seen an absolutely disgraceful increase in rough sleeping and homelessness here in Leicester and across the country. In Leicester we've seen a 64% increase in rough sleeping, and we've had 8 years now of austerity cuts to local authorities, cuts to housing, cuts to public services, and you can really see the devastating impact this is having on people's lives. As a society, we've got to do something about homelessness. We need a society where no one should be sleeping rough on our streets.
The homeless community faces so many different challenges, and we all as a society need to support people through their challenges, difficulties, and keep them on the right track and on the right path. During this week I've met many homeless people living on the streets of Leicester, many living with hepatitis C. What I find quite shocking is many people can't engage in the services they actually need, and what's quite shocking is people actually don't understand or realise the consequences of living with hepatitis C. Many people are actually going to needle exchanges, which is fantastic, but often people are not actually engaging in services. A lot of people don't know about the new treatments, which are taken over shorter treatment duration, better treatment outcomes and fewer side effects. The people I've spoken to feel they don't deserve or have the privilege to treatment. This needs to change. We need to increase testing for people on the streets of Leicester for hepatitis C, and we need to engage in places where people are able to take medication, which is right for them, and get their health back on track.
Hi, my name is Ivor Humphrey. I'm one of the founder members of Marcus, meaning Music, Art, Recreation, Culture, Universal Socialisation. It's a new project which was born October of last year on World Mental Health Day. And the idea of the project is that we're using the power of music for mental health recovery. The project has been running since October. It's had an amazing start. We had a full house at the Y Theatre last year, and as a result of that we decided to extend the project into workshops and performances. Since then we've been doing all sorts of stuff with people, particularly the Centre project on homeless people. It's gone so well, they've asked us to come back again. We're looking at workshops. So the project itself is really going to move ahead this year. We're kind of building our base of musicians here, known as the Musicians Collective, where we're inviting singers, musicians, all sorts to come together as a collective and to come out and support worthy causes in the community. I myself am very passionate about homelessness. I see that as one of the important basic human requirements, and I've come from London all the way just to help out with this event here today. Got a musician here to help out. Unfortunately, wasn't too sure because of the weather situation, but we're here today, and that's all that really matters. A bit more about the project itself, Music for Mental Health. Kind of recognise that music, mental health, there is something very powerful to be said about this, and my experience is having worked with musicians who have had mental health issues and depression, they really find a sense of well-being for what they're doing. And for me as a musician myself, I'm just trying to provide a platform for these musicians to go out and inspire other people.
Hi, my name is Hassan Ali. I'm from Leicester Community Services. We represent an organisation in the midst of Highfields, and we're based in Melbourne Centre. We're a community-based organisation. What we do is basically we're integrating communities at large, regardless of faith, gender, creed, caste, whatever background. What we're doing here at the moment is we're here to help the vulnerable, feed the homeless, with everyone's help, and all organisations are working together. And as you can see, our friend Dave is recording this, and he's doing a campaign against Sleeping Rough campaign. So basically, he's doing a whole campaign for 2 weeks. Anyway, I can introduce you to, this is Mr. Musa from LCS, one of the founders, co-founders, one of the patrons of LCS, and he'll explain to you what kind of things we're doing as well.
Good evening to everyone. As you can see, we are here at the Leicester Market. We are from LCS. Our motto is integrating people, helping people, and here we are at the marketplace. It's a wonderful atmosphere. You can see a lot of activity, you can see a lot of people, and we hope to continue with these projects in the near future as well.
It's one very cold morning, but I've had 4.5 hours sleep. I do feel refreshed, but it must be difficult for the homeless population, and It's got a nice hot chocolate which I'm enjoying, and going to try and keep warm here. I've just spent the morning with a lady who's 37, been living on the streets of Leicester for 2 months. While she is quite vulnerable and quite lonely, she's often bored and find it hard to engage in different services. She does have challenges of engaging in different services, and that's why it's important that the outreach teams continue to do their fantastic work within Leicester City Centre. I've met a really interesting character. He's 47 years old. He's from the travelling community and spends about 2 weeks in Leicester and then moves on to different places. He suffers with drug and alcohol related issues, and he was actually on Mamba today drinking Lambrini, really struggling, doesn't really know where to access services. But what really shocked me was at 4:30 this morning he was actually woken up by somebody actually urinating on him in Leicester, which actually really shocks and surprises me. These are just some of the challenges people on the streets actually face. Simply put, nobody should be homeless. Homelessness matters to us all. It's quite shocking how quickly you can feel lonely living on the streets of Leicester. Often people ignore you, they don't give you the time of the day, you feel like a second-class citizen. Saying that, some people can be quite generous. One person gave me an apple and another gave me a blanket, which I was very grateful for, which I'll be donating to a homeless person at the end of this project. But we must not forget, people do have voices, and often these voices are unheard, and we should give people more time of day and the respect they deserve. I've spent the morning speaking with some homeless men in the park in Leicester. Many have drug and alcohol issues, which to a certain extent I can understand. Mamba in Leicester is a real major concern. I was speaking to one gentleman who actually lost his friend from overdosing on it. I can actually see why people turn to it. Obviously loneliness, I think boredom, living on the streets have a lot to do with it as well.
Hello, my name's Salim Khalifa. I work for a charity called Trade Sexual Health, which is a LGBT charity working with the lesbian, gay, bisexual and trans communities. We do a lot of work around sexual health and HIV prevention work, and supporting people who identify with a load of diverse needs, as well as mental health and health needs. It's great to be part of this project that David Rowlands is taking part on, which is Homeless for a Week. Within the LGBT community, homelessness is an issue and it increases to rise, including very much for around young people. A lot of the issues are very much around mental health, like any other people, but compared to heterosexual counterparts, the added problems that arise are fear of rejection, homophobia within a household. We also have cases where people are forced into marriage, or there's lots of sexual exploitation, and this is happening very much in a home environment. As a result of that, we're seeing more people who are LGBT that are now on the streets. A lot of the issues that arise, there's lots and lots of great charities that work within Leicester as well as nationally, but in order to make sure we kind of have support networks as well as places for people who are homeless, and in terms of LGBT people's needs, there needs to really be a multi-agency approach. So as well as homeless agencies working together, and they need to work with agencies like us, where LGBT people who are on the streets feel they can't access services, or even hostels. That may be to do with if somebody who's trans and they feel like there's an issue around their gender identity and being put into a certain hostel which is male or female. There's also, in terms of the LGB client group, so lesbian, gay, bisexual people from all ages who feel if they go somewhere for support, people will not understand their needs as well as somebody who identifies within that group. So it's really important that a lot of these places come together and we work together to do training, and also make sure that people are signposted to the relevant agencies.
I'm Ken. I'm supporting I'm Homeless for a Week, which David is doing at the moment. Sexual health is very important for everybody, particularly for people who are living on the streets. It's utterly essential that people take the chance to be tested as often as possible for the full range of sexually transmitted diseases, including HIV. HIV can be treated these days, and people who live with it can have a long and fulfilling life. There's a drug now which actually allows people, once they have been potentially exposed to HIV, to have a course of treatment which will hopefully stop any potential for them becoming fully infected. This is called PEP, post-exposure prophylaxis. It's important because it's available to anybody, including the homeless. It's available should you have had unprotected sex or have shared a needle with somebody who's potentially HIV positive. To access it, you need to either visit a sexual health clinic or your local A&E department. There you will be asked to take an HIV test, and provided you are already negative, they will be able to prescribe you a 1-month course of a drug which you take 1 tablet each day, and this gives a very, very good chance of actually preventing you ever becoming HIV positive. It's absolutely essential that you do this as soon as possible, and certainly within 72 hours of the potential infection.
Hi, my name's Steve. I'm one of the founder members of the Bridge Homelessness to Hope, and we're here this evening serving meals to around 50 homeless and vulnerably housed guys. We do this 6 mornings a week for breakfast. We do it on a Thursday evening and a Sunday afternoon, and we do it obviously to help those who are less fortunate. We also run an advice centre here with various organisations coming in giving advice. We run a women's group. We're setting up various Keep Fit projects, art therapy projects, so that the Hope Centre here on Melton Street in Leicester can be used as a hub for homeless and vulnerably housed people, so they can come in and get all the advice they need and hopefully deal with some of the issues we have. We also run a mentoring service for those who need more one-to-one support. So we've been in these premises now nearly a year, and things are now beginning to take off. We do it because we want to help those who are less fortunate than us. A lot of us are Christians, and we feel it's Christ's command that we should help those who need help, and that's why we do it. Lots of volunteers here tonight. We've served over 50 hot 2-course meals from food provided by Leicester College Catering Department, which is really fantastic.
Cynthia Ganesh Panchan from the Cynthia Trust, supporting disadvantaged people in Leicester and Leicestershire. We work with a variety of people, including people who are being homeless or at risk of homelessness. So we could support you with making housing applications, looking for alternative accommodation, and also we run a women's group, a homelessness women's group, and that's every Wednesday from the Centre Project and on a Friday from the Bridge Homelessness Project. We work through appointment, and so if you need any assistance, you can drop into number 12 and make an appointment. Failing which, you can also see one of our advisors at the Bridge on a Monday, so the Bridge Homelessness Project on Melton Street. So, and there would be one of our advisors who would give you advice on welfare, claiming welfare, your benefits, looking at homelessness, and if you want to get into employment, finding volunteering opportunities or work placements. Equally, if you're a woman fleeing violence, then you can come to us, and then we could try and support you through that process.
I hope you've enjoyed watching this short film about the #Homeless for a Week project. I'm really touched by how much social media impact we've had, but what is most important is the engagement from the homeless community in Leicester. We shouldn't forget them. We need to give them a voice, and moving forward, we need their voices to be heard to the whole public and better understand their health needs moving forward. Thank you.